to kill officers with her car, and they shot her. Now, the press is probably the lamestream leftist press obviously will take this and blow it up in another proportion. And they'll say, these are Nazis. They need to be killed. They're openly saying that now. The left is openly saying, calling for people on the right to be killed, guys. It's getting pretty bad out there.
The Department of Homeland Security is reporting that law enforcement officers were rammed by vehicles and boxed in by 10 cars. That's where we find News Nation's Mills Hayes. Mills, what are you seeing out there today?
Hi, Kelly. Well, there are more protesters that have started to come here to this Broadview ICE facility. We know there's some more activity. Also, where that woman was shot, you mentioned that. Now, we also know that Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker says that President Trump plans to federalize 100 Illinois National Guard troops to help protect ICE personnel and facilities. We expect this crowd here at the Broadview ICE facility to grow throughout the night. Now, meanwhile,
grow throughout the night. Now, this is Broadview, Illinois. This is a combat zone now, guys. Same thing in Portland. Why are they allowed to continue? The federal troops should be moving in here pretty soon. We'll see how this plays out. And then once that happens, will it blow up somewhere else? Will it start to explode somewhere else? Yes, it will.
DHS is speaking out after a woman was shot by federal law enforcement officers after allegedly trying to ram Border Patrol agents with her car. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem posting on X saying, quote, members of our brave law enforcement were attacked, rammed, and boxed in by 10 vehicles, including an attacker with a semi-automatic weapon, adding that she is...
So 10 vehicles. 10 vehicles, guys. That's very coordinated. That's not random. That 10, Antifa or whoever, these probably cartel members, some of them, and maybe all of them, I don't know. But they're, coordinating this now. They're coordinated now.
Deploying more special operations to control the scene. The FBI is investigating, and the woman is in critical condition at the hospital. Protesters responding nearby the incident.
All right. So, like I said earlier, you're going to have to see armored vehicles in the streets. So that's what you're seeing right here in Chicago, and you're going to have to see more of them. You're going to see these vehicles moving through the streets, moving to areas where they know that cartel and illegal immigrants and so forth are that are very violent, and they're going to go in with these vehicles, guys. It's a war zone now, and it's going to get more intense.
About ICE activity in the area. One woman saying her son, who is a U.S. citizen.
Now, look at these women. These women think they're doing the right thing. They're brainwashed. They're brainwashed, useful idiots, guys. They're brainwashed, useful idiots. This is an extreme, liberal, often not unfortunate, but it is what it is, lesbian group of women that, really push this. And they're the ones that are openly calling for violence. Now, on the opposite side of this, remember how we had mama bears basically going into schools and stopping all of the vaccination bullshit, the masking bullshit, all of the stuff that was going on in the schools where they're, trying to push transgenderism, all kinds of crazy stuff, push transgenderism in bathrooms. That's still going on in California. Of course it is, right? I guess there's not enough good mama bears out there in California to make something happen, because you have a lot of liberal type women, evidently, that believe that should happen. So I don't know, guys. Where, there's part of me was like, well, just wall them off. Just wall off these cities. And then there's part of me is like, I know there's a lot of good people in those cities. And this is constitutionally unacceptable, what they're doing. This is not the Constitution of America. They have worked around the Constitution of America and formed basically their own corporations in these cities, and they're doing illegal activities. They're supported by illegal activities. And then they have the useful idiots like these people that create, as I've said many times, it's like we have to push through them to get to the real criminals. It's very frustrating.
Was detained earlier today by immigration officials. All of this happening after Secretary Noem's visit to the Broadview ICE facility, where protests have been intense. She did not take questions from the press. Border Patrol Commander at Large Gregory Bovino leading the arrest outside the facility on Friday. DHS says that 13.
All right, so that's where we're moving in that direction really quickly. Like I said, shots fired. ICE agents in Chicago suburb boxed in by cars. Let me share this article so you can kind of follow along a little bit. So I put this up. I did the research on this, and then that video I just showed you popped. So that's the shooting from, they had to shoot that woman that was trying to ram them and kill them in the car. All right. So it's moving very quickly. Tonight, it's probably going to be a rough night in some of these cities, guys. So shots fired, ICE agents in Chicago suburb boxed in by 10 cars. Federal agents Saturday were rammed and boxed in by 10 cars in Broadview, Illinois, near Chicago, where crowds have been gathered for days protesting U.S. immigration. So you saw the way it was there in France. They have destroyed the French culture, one of the most beautiful cultures. How long did it take the French to build that culture? Thousands of years. All right. And then I guess a couple decades, the last time I was there, they have destroyed that culture. It doesn't take them long, especially when they have the police and when they have the judicial side on their side. The deep state has infiltrated everywhere, guys. It's going to be tough to push back on this. Pritzker's, all right, so you have a governor that's a deep stater, all right? He's going to push back on these federal officers, and he has been coming into his state and trying to make it right constitutionally, because he's part of a corporate government, a deep state government that's taken over a lot of these states. So Pritzker's Chicago Police Department is leaving the shooting scene and refuses to assist us in securing the area. This is from federal ICE agents. There is a growing crowd, and we are deploying special operations to control the scene. This is going to get really bad because you have, I guess, ballless Chicago cops that have been put there on purpose. All right. I saw this in the State Department when Hillary Clinton was in charge. She put ballless, spineless men with guns that they weren't going to use, and they had a lot of problems there for a while. They would beg for us to come help them. Those of us in the area that were CIA agents, right? So that's what we're going to continue to see in these big cities. Spineless, ballless men that are supposed to be protecting us that are not going to do that, right? So that's not everywhere, and that's not all police. I salute the police that do have spines and do have cojones, right? So hopefully, there's more of them than not. But definitely in Chicago and Portland, we got some problems there, guys. And they've been infiltrated for a long time, so it's not surprising to me that they have this issue. Okay, so this is from Tricia McLaughlin. Let me share this one as well so you guys can read along a little bit and see kind of like you can go and do your own research. You can go deeper down these rabbit holes if you want. I always recommend that so that it ingrains in you a little bit and you see how to do the process. so that you become your own critical thinker and your own researcher, right? This morning, during routine patrolling in Broadview, in the same area of Chicago that law enforcement were assaulted yesterday, our brave law enforcement officers were rammed by vehicles and boxed in by 10 cars. Agents were unable to move their vehicles and exited the car. One of the drivers who ran the law enforcement vehicle was armed with a semi-automatic weapon. Law enforcement was forced to deploy their weapons and fire defensive shots. So, defensive shots. You know how we just created the War Department, Department of War? You can't be defensive now, guys. I've taught offensive shooting, offensive hand-to-hand. It's a mind state. If you go defensive, which the Democrats want their spineless, ballless men to do, be defensive, they're going to get slaughtered. And you're going to get slaughtered, because once they get through those law enforcement, they're coming for you. Right? So law enforcement was forced to deploy the weapons and fire defensive shots. It shouldn't be defensive. If someone is shooting at them, they should shoot to kill. Because if they don't kill them, they're going to come back again if they get away, or they're going to continue firing. Hello. It's real friggin' simple here. All right. So they shot at an armed U.S. citizen who drove herself to the hospital. So evidently this was a woman, right? A liberal woman, to the hospital to get care for her wounds. She should be in a morgue somewhere. Listen to what she said. The armed woman was named in a CBP intelligence bulletin last week for doxing agents. Doxing means she's basically calling out where they live, putting pictures of the agents and all that stuff, and posting online, hey, to all my gang, let's F those mother effers up. Don't let them take anyone. Prickster's Chicago Police Department is leaving the shooting scene, like I told you earlier, and refuses to assist us in shooting and securing the area. So you have leftist women that are shooting, and the police are running for their lives. The Chicago police are running. No wonder Chicago has so many shootings, killings, shooting deaths every week. No wonder. It's pathetic. Military is going to have to go in, guys. We've said for years that military is the only way, and you're seeing why, right? You're seeing why.